Okay. What makes Latu such an effective pass rusher?
Great question. There's a lot. He's extremely athletic for his size. He's 6'5 plus. He's all of it. He's got long arms, but he can bend and move. I think a lot of it has to do with his background. He's a tremendous rugby player. He was on the U.S. I think under 19 team. He's really a special player that way. And, so his athleticism for his size, I think, is rare. He's tenacious. I think he's well thought out. He has a really good plan. Him and Coach Malloy talk a lot about changing how he rushes, so he has more than one go-to move. And I think he really works hard at his craft. But I think it's that rare combination of athleticism, his size and strength. He's probably a lot faster than people his size normally are. But we were just doing drills the other day, just watching him catch the ball. I think he would be a tremendous tight end. I think he'd do a lot of different things, but he's got that rare combination of size and athleticism that not many people his size have.
His brother is a tight end.
Yep, we do.
Yeah,
he's at Nevada playing for Coach Latu.
Has Latu taken a step forward this year?
I think so. I think we got him last year. He didn't have the benefit of spring ball a year ago because he wasn't cleared until the summertime. And he had a huge impact, and I think he's even better this year with a full year in the weight room, another year in our system. But I think he has, and I thought he played really well last year, and I think he's playing even better this year.
And one more question. When he's deciding which move to make, does he coordinate that with the coaches, or is that based on his feel?
I think it's his feel and his decision as it goes in. Like Akaika doesn't tell him going in on this play, use this rush. He has a bunch of tools available to him on each rush, depending on how the offense sets to him. Who protected him? Is it a running back? Is it a tackle? Is it a slide protection to him? Is it a single protection to him? And he reacts to whatever they do. But they don't go in telling him on this play, use a swim move or use a rip move. He reacts to how the defense is deploying their protection on that play.
Well, when we spoke to J-Mike yesterday, he was asked about the big crowd that's expected. He said, kind of doesn't really see it when you're on the field, but from a, maybe a recruiting aspect and having, a game on national TV like that, what are your thoughts on having that crowd?
Yeah, we love it, and I think it's awesome. We've had some huge crowds since we've been here. I know, go back to the LSU game, we had 70 plus, and it was a great atmosphere, and our players enjoy playing in that atmosphere, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
General thoughts on sign stealing and that sort of thing?
I mean, it goes on. It's always gone on. You see people during the course of the game trying to take things from the other team if they can get something, and then, how do you get that information to the people that it's necessary to, because usually the play's signaled and then 2 seconds later the play's run. So can you coordinate that whole effort? I've never heard of it in advance, like I think is what's being alleged right now, of people going out and getting signals before the game. So I don't know enough about that, and I've never heard of that before. So that goes on.
The poster boards you used while you're at Oregon, was that to prevent sign stealing?
No, that was just to communicate faster.
Okay.
So if you go to McDonald's, there's a picture.
Yeah.
You say, give me a number 3. It sped up the order. So that's where the genesis of that idea. That wasn't because we were afraid of people stealing our signs. Actually, we showed them a sign so they could steal whatever they wanted off the sign. So that was just a rapid fire way. The concept that a picture is worth 1,000 words. So if a play call is X words, can it be one picture? You know what I mean? So the concept of if you go to McDonald's and order a number 3, that entails the sandwich or burger, the fries, and the drink. You don't have to say the whole thing. That's where that came from. That didn't come from we thought people were stealing signals or signs or any of that stuff. So
why did you go away from that?
What's that? We've just morphed and I think found other ways to communicate that we feel are a little bit more effective. I think there's an ebb and flow to everything. We may go back to them at some point in time, but we didn't use those signs as much as people thought we used those signs. But that wasn't the intention. I think sometimes there's the law of unintended consequences is that you get this and then people think it's because of this, and that can run with its own life. So it really, the genesis of that was, how can we play faster and communicate this play call, which could be west right slot, 322, Y stick looky, halfback burst. What's one picture? So you can communicate that faster instead of west right slot, 322, Y stick, looky, halfback burst. It could be that. That's how that part came. It wasn't because we were concerned with people stealing signals. So
You did use the game at Arizona 2 years ago. You had the screens up.
yeah, we did.
That was
Just because there were people on their staff that used to be on our staff,
Yeah.
so some of the signals could be similar, and we've changed. I don't think any of our signals are similar to what they were 2 years ago, because we spent a lot of time in the off season being conscious of that. And I think everybody's conscious of that. So, how do we change, and how do we do it better? Is there a better way to signal that? So, I think the answer to all of it, very simply, is in the NFL, they call the play in from the head coach or the coordinator or the play caller to the quarterback, and they do the same thing defensively, and you don't have that issue in the NFL. I think we're a little bit in the dark ages here in college football, and if they went to headset communication, you wouldn't have any of these issues. So we'll see where that goes. Hopefully that's in the future.
with all the time passed, or you're not going to need the screens again next week.
We haven't even thought about next week.
Travis, go ahead.
Yeah.
You talk about Alex Johnson, and how would you describe his journey?
Yeah, Alex is awesome. He's just a special young man. Got an undergrad degree from UCLA. He's one class short, and we're not short, but he will graduate at the end of this fall with a master's degree. He's everything you want in a football player. We talk about being about books and ball. He's a high 3.0 as an undergrad. He's almost a 4.0 as a grad student. He does everything right in every aspect. He's played corner, he's played safety, he's played nickel, he's played all four core special teams. He's the ultimate teammate. I think if you asked everybody on this team, what their thoughts on Alex are, it's just off the charts. He's a special young man, and we were fortunate. When we went into Loyola High School a couple years ago, and they said he'd been scholarshiped at a couple Big Sky schools, and we talked about the possibility of walking on and the opportunities that were presented, and he accepted the challenge and ran with it. We've had a great history of, even at the school for a long time, of walk-ons, but even since I've been here, the Josh Kellys, the Greg Dulciches, the Ethan Fernandez, the three guys I just mentioned are all playing in the NFL, and I think Alex has fallen right in that footsteps. There's a reason he wears that number that's bestowed upon him, and he's an integral part to everything that we're doing this year.
What do you think about Travis Hunter's two-way ability and the energy it takes to do that?
It's amazing, because you look at the play counts and the snaps, and he's playing 50-plus snaps on offense and 50-plus snaps on defense in every game he's played. It's unheard of. Some guys do it in spots where, they're a full-time DB and then they run 8 to 10, 15 routes on offense, but he's playing 50 snaps on offense and playing 50 snaps on defense. So I think from a competitive endurance standpoint, as good as maybe there's ever been, because there haven't been many two-way players. You can go to the Woodsons, and you got to go back to Gordy Lockbaum at Holy Cross back in the day, and some of those guys, but I don't know if their snap counts were as high as his. And you actually just we looked at the count number the other day, and I was just like, wow, that's impressive. And he does not seem like he gets tired, so he's, his competitive endurance is as good as I've ever seen, and that's a tribute to him as a player. So
Yeah, because I was going to say, you guys pride yourselves on conditioning. What would that even take from your standpoint if you ever got a player like that?
That would, I think that's probably the gold standard right now. You can say if you can play as many snaps as Travis Hunter's played. And it's been consistent. It wasn't like in one game, well, they really needed him, so he did this. And in every game that he's been available, I know he missed a couple after the late hit in the Colorado State game, but when he came back, it wasn't like they eased him back into it, and it didn't seem like it affects his play either. So he doesn't seem like he's dragging at all. When he's played, that last game was a double overtime game, and he's playing all the snaps on offense and all the snaps on defense. So he is a special player.
Has anybody ever done that in the NFL?
Not to that extent. There may have been Dion did. Dion played a little wide receiver, along with being obviously one of the best corners that can play the game and being a returner. But I don't think anybody's done it to the extent that he's done it from just the amount of snaps he had. I think that's just, I don't know if he gets enough credit for it. I think it's, you kind of marvel at it. Like, that's, if you really know this game, to play that many snaps week in and week out, that's truly special, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and then went and played for the Braves after.
Yeah, he did a lot of different. Dion is he's an amazing person in a lot of different ways, and I think I think what he's given back to the game now is awesome. But I think what he did as a player, what he did for the Braves, he played for the Yankees. He was truly one of the really truly special athletes. Now he's one of the truly special coaches. So, and that's rare. Not many great players turn into great coaches, and he certainly has. So.
What are you seeing out of Collin Schlee this week?
Collin's been great, been cleared, been full go. Really excited about where he is and starting to come back. Just happy for him because I think he was just starting to, he's had just a couple things where all of a sudden you're like, wow, Collin's coming, and then there's something. And then all of a sudden we finally get some time. He had a lot of good practice time and really came in and sparked us in the Oregon State game. And then, he's out. But, it was good news for us that he was cleared to play and he's back and practice full. What are we on Wednesday now? So he'll be full today. Was full Monday, Tuesday, and we'll continue to see where he is and monitor him. But that's a huge addition for us if we have Collin available to us.
Was he full go to start the week, or did that just gradually?
He was full go cleared, but we were very cautious with him on Sunday, just to kind of see what any residual effects were with him. And he seems like he's doing great.
So taking out the hypotheticals, he's on a trajectory to be available Saturday.
You said taking out the hypotheticals, right?
Yes.
That's a good point. That's a good way to do it. Yes, I would say yes to that. He's on a trajectory.
I'm going to use that.
I like
from
that.
now on.
Taking out hypotheticals on a trajectory. I like that. That's good work by you. It's a good way to phrase it. But I would say, yeah. We'll see how the rest of the week goes. But I'm just happy for him because he's such a competitor and can really spark us, as you guys saw in the Oregon State game. He did some really good things. So.
You said you had multiple quarterbacks who could run 20 miles per hour. Who are the other ones?
Justin Martin, Collin, and Garbs. I think Chase is, and I think Garbs and Dante are both high 19s right now. But I don't know if they've gone it in training. Now, if you ask them, they probably have. Justin definitely can. Justin can pick him up and put him down. Justin and Collin are the two fastest. But those other guys are close.
Thank you
Thanks,
very
Chip.
much.
All right, guys.